You know that saying, you'll be exactly as happy as you decide to be? Can you really do that? Can you be as happy as you decide to be? That's what this episode is about. You're listening to Pure Light, where we explore how you can believe in yourself and be happy with who you are. My name is Ailey. I help people do what they feel called to do. I'm a coach, writer, and yoga and meditation teacher. This is episode 147. In the last episode, I said something about looking for evidence of what you believe to be true, which has been a pretty consistent theme in this podcast over the years. And it reminded me of something else I wanted to talk about, which is emotional set point. So if there's a spectrum of emotions from being miserable and depressed at one end, all the way to being like totally blissed out and joyful at the other, there may be times where you end up kind of at either extreme, depending on what's coming up for you emotionally. But if you average out how you feel over time, that'll fall somewhere on that spectrum. So that's kind of like your average point. So that's your emotional set point. It's your normal level of happiness. And it could be on the high end of the spectrum. It could also be on the low end of the spectrum, because some people are naturally happy, or at least seem to be, and some people are not. And wherever you fall on that scale or that spectrum is going to be your comfort zone in terms of your level of happiness, because it's what you're used to. And here's the thing, even if more positive emotions come up in you, that can feel uncomfortable. It can be uncomfortable to be happier because it's not what you're used to, even though emotionally speaking, it actually feels better. So because it's uncomfortable, because it's not what you're used to, the mind may actually look for reasons to keep you where you are, to try to protect you from actually having that more expansive, positive emotion within you. So it'll look for reasons to stay as happy as you normally are. So it may look for something to complain about or for someone to blame about something. It may look for something to worry about. It may look for a reason to create conflict in a relationship, all to preserve your emotional set point so that you don't get uncomfortable by becoming a happier version of yourself. So if you flip that, that means that all of those things, so worrying, blaming, complaining, those are all ways of creating evidence in your mind that you cannot be happier, because there's a reason for you to limit your capacity for positive energy. So the next time that those things come up, when you notice yourself worrying or blaming or complaining, check in with yourself and ask yourself, is this something that I really need to focus on? Or is this a way for me to contain the positive energy inside me? Like, is it a way for me to distract myself from how good I'm feeling right now? There may be things that you legitimately should worry about because there's something you need to do to make the worry go away and to make sure everything's okay for you. But if that's not the case, it's worth considering, is the stuff going on in your mind a way to distract you from fully experiencing a new level of happiness? I want to share a couple of quotes here. Walt Disney said, "You can be happy or you can be unhappy. It's just according to the way you look at things." And here's one from Abraham Lincoln. "Most folks are as happy as they make their minds up to be." So here's something to think about. How happy will you make up your mind to be? Where do you want your emotional set point to be? How high are you willing to go up on that emotional spectrum? Thanks so much for listening. Until next time, may you be guided by your light.